Today, we are going to be playing a Fortnite creative battle royale called Snapshots Venture 2 Reforge, a map created by a professional creative maker called Jackus Creates. So yeah, we're going to be playing this new UEFN map that Jackus made and seeing how good it is. Make sure to like and subscribe, use create code SlayBet in the Fortnite item shop, and let's get on with the video. And then we spawn into the spawn island, a pretty decent UEFN spawn island for battle royales. Classic. Why hello there Harvey players, didn't expect to see you here. And eventually the game starts. The game eventually begins, but there was an issue. Apparently, the game was supposed to send us to the island, but it didn't. All because of a stupid mechanic that wouldn't work. But that didn't stop me. There was only one way to get to the island, which was swimming there. It took a bit. Oh look, we're finally on the island. Don't worry, when this video is out, he's probably already fixed that bug. But anyway, we have arrived to one of the POIs called Frantic Fields. A pretty small farm at like one of the sides of the island, but has a good hut with a capture point there. I'm thinking it's kind of good, but yeah, it's alright, I guess. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Meanwhile, I started capturing the point at Frantic Fields and got myself for 2 assault rifles, and then ran into the hut and found one of these objectives. They're basically Jackus' versions of chests. Yeah, honestly, I prefer chests over this, but that's totally Jackus. Surprisingly, I came across my first opponent and demolished him, just like that. Afterwards, I fled away with a truck. See ya, Frantic Fields. I drove through what looks to be a primal-ish, medieval-ish biome. Looks kinda cool, but yeah. After driving for a long time, we finally arrived at a new POI. Called Searing Stacks, a power plant type POI with a few buildings nearby and has lava inside the stacks itself. Honestly, this POI is kind of good. I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10, I think. Yeah, 8 out of 10. I was randomly moving around in this area, just grinding mats, you know. You need those mats if you're playing builds, if you want to win. I started running around to like a blossom biome, and I ran up to this spire guardian tower thing, which had an orb on top of it. I thought it would do something, but clearly not. While I was messing around the island, the storm engulfed me, and I tried to run back to zone. Just made it in zone, and made it back to Searing Stacks. Then I ran away from Searing Stacks, got some wood, and made it over to this galaxy orb thing that was under the water, like chapter 3, season 3 of Fortnite. Yeah. Then I made it to this volcanic-like mountain, built up, and got a good view. Honestly, good terrain. I'm loving it. If you haven't noticed already, there's only 2 players in this game, and 30 people spectating me. On you. Crazy, right? So I was attempting to find the last guy. Came across Harvey Plays' house in the process, until this happened. I guess I won? Then eventually game 2 began, spawned in the exact same spot that I won at, came across a guy that was trying to mine a slurp truck, tried to escape, but I popped his wheel and annihilated him, almost dying in the process. Made it back to Frantic Fields to get more mats. After grinding on mats, I unlocked an augment. I chose Overcharge, which gave me 20 Overshield. Great augment. After that, I arrived at a POI called Flannel Forest, a Weeping Woods type Lonely Lodge POI. Pretty basic for like a lodge POI. I think I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, just because it's pretty small, but okay, I guess. But yeah, you know what I mean. So I ran around Flannel Forest, went to the capture point, and got caught off guard, and I died. And then game 3 begins, and I land at another POI called Grand Grind. A castle with grind rails in it from Creative Prefabs. Honestly, it's a pretty mid POI, to be honest. Got a few purple castles around. It's got grind rails for rotation. I think I would give this POI a 8.2 out of 10. So I landed there, went in the grind rails, got all the loot from the grind rails, and looted the place more inside of the castle itself. And then I fled away from the castle, ran into this house and looted it, got another augment and chose Overcharge again, went up and looted this western house, went in this vehicle and fled to another POI called Verdant Valley, a Tilted Towers POI with a few buildings, and with the clock tower from Tilted Towers itself. Very detailed POI. I would give it a 9.1 out of 10. It looked like a few people were here before. It's because there were loads of builds around. I didn't really mind about that, so I looted the place. Then I walked in the streets and captured the capture point. Then started looting some more buildings, until I heard a guy approaching me with a car. He tried bombing it into me, but I built. And then the fight begins. I tried shotgunning him down, but he demolished me. And that's it for the gameplay. Let's now review the POIs that we've missed. Starting with Sturdy Supply, a place where the supply drops are at. It's pretty good. I like it. It's like kind of like a power plant or somewhat. I'm gonna give this a 8.6 out of 10. Up next, Blossom Bluffs, a Lucky Landing Misty Meadows POI in the Blossom biome. This looks pretty good as well. I like the lucky buildings and stuff. It's really cool. I would honestly give it a 8.2 out of 10. Now it's time for Faulty Frontier, a POI that's inspired by Faulty Splits. Honestly, it's kind of empty, but okay, just a bit, it's alright. I would give it a 6.8 out of 10. Next up, we have Risky Reels, an accurate recreation of the Risky Reels in Fortnite in the Chapter 4 graphics. I'm gonna give this one a 8.8 out of 10. Now we arrive at Classy Condos, a POI that looks like Lazy Lake and somewhat Condo Canyon but without the sand. A somewhat detailed POI. Honestly, I would give it a 7.9 out of 10. Now let's move over to Basalt Bay, a small lazy lagoon type POI with a few houses and a dock. I honestly would give this POI a 7.6 out of 10. And finally, Research Reef. Basically a campsite with a plane on it, mixed in with like the warehouses and Frosty Flights. And I would give this POI a 7.8 out of 10. As you can see right here, this is the entire map of Snapshots Venture 2. It actually kind of looks like Fortnite Chapter 2 in a way. You can kind of see some similarities to like the two like maps. The lake in the middle, to the large mountains in the bottom right corner of the island, to the mini islands on the top left corner of the island, the huge water dam being in the exact same spot, and Risky Reels being the exact same spot it was in Chapter 2. Thanks to Jackus and his entire team for making this huge great map for all of us to play on. It's really fun. If you want to play it, here's the map code. UEFN's got a bright future ahead of itself, and we're yet to see great creations from other creators sometime in the future. Hope you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and peace out.